Today, we're setting aside rumors and sensational headlines to explore something far more meaningful. We'll take a closer look at 17 heartfelt stories about the sons of some of the world's most legendary actresses' figures, such as Meryl Streep, Elizabeth Taylor, and Cate Blanchett. These stories invite a deeper question. When creativity runs through a family's legacy, does it inspire the next generation to discover their own brilliance? Or can the immense spotlight surrounding their famous mothers make it harder to define who they truly are? From choosing a quiet life away from the spotlight to carving out bold paths filled with independence and pride, the answers may surprise you. Yet before we reveal these fascinating stories from Hollywood's legendary families, take a moment to support the channel by tapping subscribe, leaving a like, and sharing a comment below about the mother-son pair you're most curious to learn about. Your encouragement is the energy that helps us continue exploring these remarkable journeys. Now, let's begin. Reese Witherspoon is far more than a successful actress. She has become a powerful cultural figure in modern entertainment. From the bright and determined character of Elle Woods in Legally Blonde, to her Academy Award-winning performance in Walk the Line, and later building the influential media company Hello Sunshine, Reese has shaped the image of a modern woman who is intelligent, confident, and ambitious. Yet beyond the major projects and iconic roles, the role she values most is that of a devoted mother. Drawing from her Southern roots, she is often described as both firm and warm, always working to help her children stay grounded and connected to everyday life, even while growing up within the fast-moving world of Hollywood. Deacon Philippi, the son of Reese Witherspoon and Ryan Philippi, is often seen as carrying a blend of qualities from both parents: the thoughtful charm associated with Ryan, and the warm, approachable smile many recognize in Reese. Yet what makes Deacon especially interesting is not simply his appearance, but the calm and grounded way he approaches life. Growing up in a family environment that valued education, privacy, and balance, he largely avoided the fast-paced lifestyle, often linked to celebrity culture. Rather than stepping immediately into acting to follow the path of his famous parents, Deacon chose to explore his own creative direction through music, spending time in the recording studio, and gradually developing a voice that reflects his personal style and interests. When Deacon Philippi released his debut single Long Run in 2020, both listeners and critics were pleasantly surprised. Rather than feeling like a simple project from someone with a famous background, the track presented a thoughtful arrangement and memorable melodies that hinted at the mindset of a developing music producer. Many felt it reflected genuine effort and creative curiosity. Behind that approach was an important lesson often associated with his mother, Reese Witherspoon. Recognition may open opportunities, but dedication, discipline, and real skill are what allow someone to truly grow and remain in the creative world. The influence of Reese Witherspoon on Deacon Philippi can often be seen in the quiet discipline behind her warm and approachable image. When Deacon chose to explore acting with a role in the series Never Have I Ever, he approached the opportunity with patience and determination. Rather than expecting immediate recognition, he followed the traditional path, attending auditions, learning from smaller roles, and gradually building experience like many other young performers. This steady approach reflects the same values that helped Reese shape her own successful journey. In many ways, the most meaningful legacy she has passed on is not fame itself, but the principles behind it: dedication, humility, and a genuine respect for the craft of storytelling. In Hollywood history, few women have shown such a fearless independence within the world of fame as Susan Sarandon. Known for her powerful screen presence and expressive gaze, she has long been recognized as a figure who brings depth and conviction to every role. From the unforgettable road story, Thelma and Louise, to the emotionally profound drama Dead Man Walking, Susan has consistently chosen characters that encourage audiences to reflect on society, morality, and human experience. Beyond her work in film, she is also known for speaking openly about causes she believes in, approaching public life with courage and honesty. That same spirit of independence and thoughtful conviction has also influenced the way she has raised her children, encouraging them to think freely and follow their own paths. Jack Henry Robbins, the son of Susan Sarandon and the actor-director Tim Robbins, did not grow up in what many might imagine as a simple Hollywood fairy tale. Instead, his childhood unfolded in an environment filled with lively discussions about society, creative expression, and the world beyond the film industry. Family dinners could include thoughtful debates, while visits to film sets and cultural events exposed him to the energy of storytelling and artistic exploration. Within this atmosphere, sometimes intense, always intellectually engaging, Jack developed a perspective shaped by curiosity and creativity. In many ways, his path toward becoming an artist with a distinctive voice seemed less like coincidence and more like a natural outcome of the environment that surrounded him growing up. Jack Henry Robbins has chosen a path that moves away from the typical route of large blockbuster productions. Rather than focusing on films designed primarily for massive commercial success, he gravitates toward projects that explore unusual ideas and gently question the oddities of modern life. His film VHS reflects this creative courage. Presented as a satirical comedy filmed with the look and texture of old VHS recordings, the project blends retro visual style with playful observations about media habits and consumer culture. Through this distinctive approach, Jack's work combines a nostalgic warmth from the past with a sharp, thoughtful sense of humor that comments on the world of the present. Jack Henry Robbins did not depend on the legendary reputation of his mother, Susan Sarandon, to secure easy opportunities. Instead, he chose a more independent route, picking up the camera himself and gradually shaping a creative direction that reflects his own ideas and perspective. The influence Susan passed on to her son is less about acting techniques and more about a spirit of courage and authenticity. One of the most meaningful lessons she shared is that true art should have its own voice, remain sincere in its purpose, and encourage thoughtful reflection about the world around it. If there is a family often described as true Hollywood royalty, many would point to the legendary Fonda family. From the commanding presence of Henry Fonda to Jane Fonda, an influential figure known for both her remarkable talent and her bold spirit, this family has left a powerful mark on film history. Born into such a legacy, Troy Garrity inherited not only a natural connection to the arts, but also the responsibility that comes with a well-known family name. The achievements of his mother and grandfather cast a long and impressive shadow, one that could easily feel overwhelming for any young performer beginning a career in the same creative world. Yet Jane Fonda, known not only for her celebrated film career but also for her outspoken social engagement, chose a very intentional path when raising her son, Troy Garrity. Rather than surrounding him with the comforts often associated with celebrity life, she focused on helping him grow with a strong sense of responsibility and awareness. Troy spent much of his youth in community-oriented activities and summer programs that emphasized service, discipline, and teamwork. In that environment, the measure of a person was not their fame or family name, but their willingness to contribute and learn. Through those experiences, he developed a grounded perspective that balanced the weight of a famous legacy with values rooted in purpose and personal effort. One of the most meaningful decisions in Troy Garrity's journey was choosing to build his identity beyond the powerful legacy often associated with his family name. Rather than relying on the recognition linked to the Fonda lineage, he embraced the surname Garrity, drawn from his grandmother's side of the family. The choice symbolized a desire for independence, a statement that he hoped to shape his career through personal effort rather than inherited prestige. Over time, Troy demonstrated that commitment through dedication to his craft. His memorable performance in Soldier's Girl earned him a nomination at the Golden Globe Awards, offering strong recognition that his achievements were grounded in genuine talent, perseverance, and hard work rather than family reputation alone. Troy Garrity appears to have inherited both the determination and the thoughtful empathy often associated with his mother, Jane Fonda. Rather than pursuing roles designed simply for glamour, he has often gravitated toward characters that carry emotional depth and complex human stories. This choice reflects a principle long emphasized within his family, that recognition and visibility can be used as tools to support meaningful storytelling and positive influence, rather than personal ego. Through a steady career and a grounded personal life, Troy has gradually built a reputation based on dedication and authenticity. In doing so, he continues the artistic and humanitarian spirit connected to the broader Fonda family legacy, quietly keeping that creative flame alive through his own efforts and convictions. While much of the public spotlight often shines on the success and lifestyle brand of Gwyneth Paltrow, the story surrounding her mother and brother unfolds in a quieter, more reflective tone. The lives of Blythe Danner and Jake Paltrow reveal a family dynamic shaped by thoughtful creativity and a deep respect for the craft of storytelling. Blythe Danner is not only a respected actress but also a long-standing figure of the theatrical world, known for bringing grace, intelligence, and emotional depth to her performances. She represents a generation of performers who place lasting value on the quality of artistic expression rather than the fleeting numbers of popularity or attention. Jake Paltrow appears to have inherited that same refined artistic spirit, yet he chose to express it from a different vantage point behind the camera. Rather than pursuing the spotlight as an on-screen star, he built his path as a director and screenwriter with a distinctive visual perspective. His film Young Ones stands as a clear example of this creative direction. Blending elements of science fiction with the atmosphere of a Western, the project explores unusual ideas and imaginative storytelling that move beyond familiar commercial formulas, reflecting Jake's willingness to experiment and approach filmmaking with originality and curiosity. Blythe Danner passed on to her son something far more lasting than the ability to shine on a red carpet. To Jake Paltrow, her greatest gift was a deep respect for the craft of storytelling. She often emphasized that filmmaking is not simply a glamorous pursuit, but a careful artistic process, one that demands patience, precision, and a sharp eye for human detail. Inspired by that philosophy, Jake has largely chosen a quieter path in public life. Rather than seeking constant attention in the media, he allows his creative work to stand at the center, letting each project speak for itself. The collaboration between Blythe Danner and her son Jake Paltrow on independent creative projects reflects more than a family connection. It represents a thoughtful exchange between two generations of dedicated artists who share a deep respect for storytelling. In many ways, their partnership illustrates how creative dialogue can grow across generations, blending experience with fresh perspective. Their approach also shows that within the fast-paced world of Hollywood, there are still individuals who prefer to work quietly behind the scenes, carefully shaping meaningful projects while honoring the integrity and enduring value of the artistic craft. Melanie Griffith, known for her soft, distinctive voice and graceful presence, became one of the most recognizable screen icons of the 1980s, especially after her memorable role in Working Girl. Her career captured the attention of audiences around the world, establishing her as a symbol of that era in Hollywood cinema. Yet behind the success and bright lights, her personal journey unfolded with many complex chapters. Early fame, changing relationships, and constant media attention created challenges that tested her resilience. Through those experiences, however, another side of her life became even more meaningful: her role as a mother. Over time, the care and devotion she showed toward her family grew stronger, revealing a quiet strength shaped by both hardship and determination. Alexander Bauer, the son of Melanie Griffith and actor Stephen Bauer, did not grow up following the typical image of a Hollywood celebrity child. Instead of living as a public figure in the spotlight, he often remained a quiet observer of the entertainment world around him. Growing up close to the industry allowed him to see both its glamour and its challenges. Perhaps because he understood how intense public attention can be, Alexander gradually chose a more private path. Rather than stepping in front of cameras or pursuing constant publicity, he preferred a life away from headlines, focusing on personal space and a calmer environment beyond the reach of paparazzi attention. Instead, Alexander Bauer found a sense of freedom in photography and writing creative paths that allowed him to observe and reflect on the world from behind the scenes rather than standing at the center of public attention. These quieter forms of expression suited his thoughtful nature and offered space for personal creativity. Yet perhaps his most meaningful role has been within his family. During challenging periods in the life of his mother, Melanie Griffith, Alexander was often described as a steady presence, someone who offered calm support and understanding. Their story is not defined by box office numbers or headlines, but by a bond built on care, resilience, and the quiet process of healing together. Melanie Griffith shared with her son, Alexander Bauer, many lessons about the delicate balance between life's challenges and the strength needed to overcome them. Through her experiences, he came to understand both vulnerability and resilience. In return, Alexander offered something equally meaningful, a sense of steadiness and calm that brought comfort to his mother during different chapters of her life. His story highlights an important truth. Sometimes the most meaningful legacy of a celebrated figure is not the creation of another star, but the nurturing of a person who grows into a compassionate, thoughtful individual with a sincere and generous spirit. If there is someone often described as winning the genetic lottery of the arts, many point to Moses Martin. He stands at a remarkable crossroads of modern culture. His mother is Gwyneth Paltrow, the Academy Award-winning actress and founder of the lifestyle brand Goop, while his father is Chris Martin, the lead singer of the global band Coldplay, known for songs that fill stadiums around the world. Yet the most interesting part of Moses' story is not simply his famous lineage. Instead, it lies in the way he has been raised with encouragement to explore creativity naturally and to protect the sincerity of his artistic curiosity as he grows. Despite their conscious uncoupling, Gwyneth Paltrow and Chris Martin have stayed united in protecting their son, Moses Martin. Moses grew up with music as a natural part of life, not as a way to chase fame. When he sometimes appears playing guitar and singing with his father from Coldplay in front of thousands of fans, he doesn't seem like a child star trying to impress just a shy kid filled with innocence and passion. Moses Martin seems to reflect a blend of both his parents' worlds. From Chris Martin, the frontman of Coldplay, he appears to inherit a sense of musical sensitivity and gentle tone, while from Gwyneth Paltrow he may carry confidence and a refined sense of style. Rather than rushing into fame with a debut album or reality shows, Moses seems to be taking his time, exploring his interests, and gradually shaping his own identity as he grows. With the mindset of a savvy businesswoman, Gwyneth Paltrow has taught her son, Moses Martin, the value of patience and independence, letting talent mature before chasing success. Moments when Moses quietly accompanies on guitar beside his father, Chris Martin of Coldplay, while Gwyneth watches proudly from the side, reflect a modern kind of family bond. A marriage may end, but respect and the shared mission of nurturing a child's gifts can continue. Julianne Moore is more than a film star. She's known for conveying deep emotion with the smallest gesture or even silence. Together with her husband, director Bart Freundlich, she has built a family life centered on creativity and intellect in New York City, a world far removed from the usual vanity often associated with Hollywood. Caleb Freundlich, the son of Julianne Moore and director Bart Freundlich, grew up around independent film sets, where passion for art mattered more than big budgets. Instead of acting and being compared to his famous mother, Caleb chose a different path, working behind the scenes as a film composer, shaping the audience's emotions through music. This path reflects both strategy and artistry. If Julianne Moore is often the face of a film, her son Caleb Freundlich works as part of its emotional core through music. Film scores can lift feelings without dialogue, quietly guiding the audience's mood. In many ways, that subtle emotional power echoes the introspective acting style that made Julianne famous. Her influence on Caleb seems less about performing on screen and more about respect for the craft, care, patience, and dedication to the art itself. Julianne Moore is known for preparing for her roles with remarkable precision and dedication. Her son, Caleb Freundlich, seems to have inherited that same meticulous spirit, applying it to every note and arrangement he writes as a composer. When Caleb creates music for a film directed by Bart Freundlich and starring his mother, it becomes more than a simple family collaboration. It forms a quiet, artistic circle built on trust, understanding, and shared respect for the craft. If you believe that artistic connections within talented families can create timeless masterpieces, drop a 1-inch the comments. If you think differently, leave a 0. Enjoy the video, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to support the channel. Your feedback is the motivation that helps us keep bringing more inspiring stories from the world of art.